tall to play football.
You're referring to Tank.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously the taller you are, right, when you get closer to 7 feet, further away from 6 feet, now you just got to be able to bend. And I think that, guys that are tall that struggle in the game because of the lack of flexibility and mobility, and the guys that succeed when they're tall, they can really bend, they can really move, they have ankle flexion and great hip mobility. So, that's the thing I've been stressing with Tank is, like, you got to be able to bend because everybody is shorter than you. And not by a little bit, right? When you go against a 6'1" defensive tackle, he is 8-9 inches shorter than you are. So now you got to make that up by bending your knees and lowering your center of mass.
Do you feel like he's been fairly successful at being that 6'10" guy?
Yeah.
But, I mean, what has he been able to do to make that?
Yeah, I think we overemphasize with him is playing with his length, right? His linear length. I think he has like 37-inch like wings or arm length, and I don't know, like a 7.5 foot wingspan. Like utilize that, right? Because he can touch guys sooner than they can touch him. So if we can deliver a blow or a jolt on the down defender, it makes you don't have to be as low as a 6 foot guy, because you're going to hit him sooner and you can control him faster. So, it's a combination of bending your knees, lowering your center of mass, and then also playing with length and utilizing length. When Tank plays, with guys in his chest, he obviously takes away all of his strengths and utilizes his weaknesses, right? If you talk about bench press, if your bar is on your chest, it's hard to move it. But if your hands are in front of your face and off your chest, it's easy to move or easy to bench press and move people. So it's every day telling him to play with his length and utilize his strength, which is that length.
If a guy like Shaq came out for football, would you say nah, or would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I would take him. I mean, I just know this in football a lot of the times, right? Just historically speaking, big people beat up little people. So the bigger you are, you got a better chance. Doesn't mean you can, doesn't mean you can't, but I would love to coach Shaq. That'd be pretty fun.
Has he made pretty good strides though since he got here, just in terms of the kind of mobility stuff?
Yeah. He obviously had to graduate from his previous school, and then came in the summertime and kind of, slowly got put in with the rest of the group as far as lifting and running and kind of figuring out the way we do things here in Corvallis. So he's done a great job adjusting in that June and July period, and then as we got into camp, then it went back to football, because he didn't do any spring ball this spring. So, he missed some of that time, and he got to develop his body. So now it's kind of getting the rust off and getting back to work. But I thought he's done a great job, acclimating to our guys and our room and the way Coach Bray does things.
Other than being ginormous, what did you guys see on tape to bring him in?
Yeah, obviously, I coached him, so it was fun. I got to coach him at a time where, he was kind of injured for 6 months, and I coached him for the season, and I saw a young man that was hungry, that was eager, that wanted to get better, and wanted to. He knew he was tall, he knew he was long, and so he's trying to figure out how to utilize this length. And each day we'd have success, and I try to visually show him, like, this is why you won. You punched him a heck of a lot sooner than he could ever hit you. So he started doing this, and then obviously we had a change in, a staff change at Colorado, and kind of kept that progression. And when we, got here in December, we thought he would be a great addition for what we needed. We lost obviously both tackles. One went number 14 overall, and one moved inside. So we had 2 spots to replace, and he was a great addition to kind of, I don't say anyone we brought in came in and started, but came in to compete to start.
What's it been like, adjusting as a first-year offensive line head coach with a squad that feels like it is your own? It's a lot of new people that, can really adjust and move into the system that you want to bring into this program.
Yeah, I think the best thing is a lot of the stuff we're doing offensively, Coach Mahalchek was doing, right? We're running the outside zone play, and literally when you watch, his film and my film, you'd say what you want to see out of it are the exact same thing. So that part's been good. I think we're going to run a little bit more directly at people, whether it's downhill or have some pullers. So we'll be a little bit different in that they probably hadn't done the last couple of years. But you're trying to come in and not change the room and change the culture and change the values that have been here, because I think it's been really good. But you also, I want the things that we hold together valuable, right? We have different boards in our room, for example, that were different than what they were the last 6 years. So they're who we are now, and so they're buying into that. And I'm not, I always talk about the past, right? I mean, they were pretty dang good the last 2 years offensively, especially running the ball. So we want to build on that. We don't want to take it away and throw it away. We want to learn from it and take the good things that they did and build on that. So I'm excited. I think we're figuring out who we all are as a group, and I think we're getting better.
In that sense, how nice is it just to have a guy like Josh who's obviously been a cornerstone with this program for half a decade now?
Yeah, he's been awesome, and he helps me with, like, there's timing. We have meetings on the second floor, the locker room's in the basement. They got to come out and walk. So I'm like, what time do you guys need to get out to get ready for practice? It's different when you're a lineman. You got to put knee braces on, tape your hand. You got a lot more stuff to put on. So he helps me out with that. He helps me out with, like, hey, can we call it this? And Josh will think about, yeah, that makes sense to me. And a lot of times he's not going to, like, argue the point, but he's going to digest it and think about it and kind of give a sounding board. As soon as Josh embraces it, well, you better embrace it if you're younger, because the eldest person in the room is embracing what we're trying to do. So he's been great, and he's done a great job kind of, in the wintertime and spring, they have their own little accountability system, and he enforces it. That's awesome. I didn't have to create that or start something new. It's what they've been doing and what we will continue to do.
You coached DeVan and Tank in Colorado.
Yeah.
What progress have you seen 2 years later?
Yeah, I mean, I think Bam, Bam, as we call him, he came in as a true freshman, ended up starting like 6 or 7 games, and he was learning the system, but he had a great foundation. His high school, they played really good football down there in Houston, and so he had a great foundation. He was just 270 pounds. So as he's gotten bigger, I think his football IQ has increased. Like, he's a smart football player, and then now, we were just talking about, he's ended each freshman year about 270 and sophomore year about 285. So now we're trying to keep that mass on, because I think he's at a really good weight right now to be able to move laterally in outside zone schemes, but then move vertically when we attack people. So I've really grown to love the kid. He was really the only kid I recruited and signed out of high school there, and I got to coach him for a year. So really like his development, his growth, and really want to see it come together his junior year here.
How nice is it to have sort of continuity with, a lot of new faces, but continuity with them two together and just experience there? How nice is that to have?
Yeah, it's always a good thing. Continuity is like the greatest thing in football, and especially in the offensive line, right? Because we play, as 5 guys, and we all play as one. So we knew it wouldn't be continuity as this place has seen the last couple of years, right? You had multiple starters return for multiple years. So really, if you look at it, we have 1 returning starter from the previous year. We have Grant Stark, who started a lot of games at multiple positions. You had Jacob Strand, who started a few games last year. And so we've kind of brought in, 2 new guys, and then we have, 5, 6 guys that are all competing. And I'm trying to move them all around so they're all comfort, right? When you play together for 5 years, you have comfort, right? Josh and Henley played next to each other for a long time, so there's some comfort. Well, we don't have that ability. I can't get these guys for 3 years together. So the more these guys get used to playing with different guys, then we'll have more continuity amongst the entire offensive line. So that's what I'm trying to create.
Speaking of Josh, how would you say his adjustment has gone from playing from tackle now to guard?
Yeah, he's done good. He's learning, right? Things happen faster inside, right? The guy, he spent a lot of his career with a defense end off his body, which is cool. I mean, there's some space issues there. Now, instead of the D and off his body, the 3 technique is literally a yard in front of him. So everything he's learning has to happen faster, right? So your second step has to get down faster. Your hands have to be thrown faster. Everything has to speed up. And the faster he learns that, the more success he has. So I try to show him, hey, this is a win on this rep because it resulted in your second step getting down. You lost this rep because your second step didn't get down. And it's that small of things that impact when you play guard. All right, and so he's learning that. I think he's done a great job. Pass pro versus a loose 3 is what he's done his entire career. Well, now it's a 2 wide. It's totally a different set for him. But I think he's done a great job. We put the ball in his hands. He played center today. He's played center last couple of days. So I'm trying to, and we've talked about this, and I've talked about with scouts, is I want to be able to play him at guard, center, guard, and get him that experience at center, and so we can showcase him for the next level. Like this kid can play center. I know the live film and games are all at tackle, but I think this guy's a 5-position player, and that's what we want to present to the NFL scouts.
As an offensive line coach, do you have any sort of goals that you are setting for yourself and for your squad during this kind of fall camp, and that you even maybe want to set for yourself for this season, something you want to achieve with either, the running game, what your group can do, or the pass blocking game?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately it's win, right? I mean, that's the number one thing. I've been around teams where we've rushed for, I think 192 yards a game and went 4 and 8. Right? It's not very good when you rush for 192 and you go 4 and 8. Been on teams where we can run the ball and could win games. That's always fun. I think ultimately it starts with winning. All right, and then we talk about the Joe Moore Award as offensive line. So if we can put ourselves in a position to win games, play very sound football as offense line, cohesive 5-man football up front, you get an opportunity to win the Joe Moore Award. Oregon State's been a finalist once and a semifinalist another time. I've been a part of the winning team of that. So I think that ultimately is the goal. It's the only award given to a position group over an individual player. So when we talk about, setting team goals, when you have team success comes individual accolades. So if we win games, we get a chance to be on the Joe Moore Award watch list, or semifinalists or finalists or winners. When you have that, then you have individual All-Americans, draft picks, right? So it kind of goes downhill like that. But number one is win. Number two is play really good, sound football. We're going to knock the shit out of people up front. And then next thing you know, we want to get a chance for the Joe Moore Award, and then whatever the kids want to do after that.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.